friends, welcome back. Okay, so this is going to be my last Halloween mani of the season. I'm going to do a French with a couple of different colors, an unusual tip, and then with bats. Except my thumbs will probably be something different. So I don't know. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start off with just straight up BAM white, okay? So what that means is I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to paint all of these nails BAM white right off the start, because that's what I'm going to start with, okay? And I should only need one coat on this. It does an incredible job of coverage. It's why I love Maniology's polishes. I don't have to do 1,000 coats of something to get coverage, which is nice. I mean, of course, I'm not skimping on the polish when I dunk my brush in there, but I am, getting a nice, good, full coverage there. So this is not going to be quite as dark, obviously, or as Halloween-y as you might think for the last week. I just wanted to do something simple and cute and quick. And then get back into the swing of trying to do some reverse stamping, some plaids and stuff like that for the month of November for the fall season. So that's kind of my goal. So like I said, try and get that all done there. So there's the first hand. So we're going to go ahead and do the second set as well and get it all done and let it all dry. So as you know, I went to Salem last week. It was absolutely amazing. I only got to spend about 6 hours there. I was in Boston and I took the ferry over, and the ferry left Boston at 9:30, and it's about a 45 to 50 minute ride over to Salem. So we got there about 10:15, give or take a little bit. And then the ferry left at 4, so you had to be back there by 3:30 for boarding. So, I had about, 10:30 to 3:30, so about 5 hours in Boston or in Salem. So I didn't quite get to see everything, and mostly that was because I did not buy tickets in advance, because this was kind of a last minute, oh my God, I can go to Salem thing. So I didn't buy tickets to the Witch House or the interior view of the House of Seven Gables. I didn't have time to go through the Peabody Essex Museum, in Salem, but I did go by the Visitors Bureau and got some good information there. I did go by the Witch House and take some pictures. I went by the Witch Memorial and was able to take pictures of the memorials that are set up for those that were killed during the Salem witch trials. So I got to do that. I got to just walk around that old part of Salem. So it was really fun. So I'm hopeful that maybe in a year or two, I can go back and make it a 3-day excursion where I can stay overnight and do some of the night ghost tours and things like that. And I didn't take a tour. I just did a self-guided thing, just kind of walked around on my own. There are trolley tours that you can take. There are walking tours you can take as well. So anyway, if you have any interest in history or any interest in the witch trials, I think you would like it. You would enjoy it. Obviously, they play it up this time of year, and it's pretty busy, but it wasn't so busy that you couldn't get into the shops and the restaurants and things like that, at least not when I went on a Monday. So obviously, if you hit a weekend and the closer you get to Halloween, probably the busier it is. Okay, so I've done one coat of BAM white. And hopefully, let's see if that's, yeah, sounds pretty dry there. So what I'm going to do next is I am going to add this smudge-free Twinkle Top Coat. It's B387. And what it is a shimmery gold. And so I'm going to put that over all of these. Like I said, I'm kind of done with the dark theme. I'm ready to move on to something else. So I'm just going to put this over that. And it gives this nail now this really beautiful sheen and shine, if you can see that. It's really pretty. Let me pull that back to the right direction. Maybe I'm not really sure. There we go. So there's that. On next to a regular white, you can definitely see a shimmer difference. It's hard to see, I know, on the phone video, but that's what we're gonna do with the rest of these. We're gonna do that, and it just gives it a little bit of, I don't know, like I said, if you've hung around here at all, you know I am a glitter girl, and so this is a good way for me to get that without having to have a bunch of different glitter polishes. I can just add this top coat and I get the glitter effect. So anyway, I love it. It's one of my favorite things to have. And that way I can just go ahead and glitter everything up, and it'll be great for winter as well. It'll really be able to pull that kind of snow sheen, I think, together. So, all right, let's check these. Okay, they're all ready as well. We'll do this hand, and then we're gonna get into the stamping. So, and then as you all know, since I'm doing this as polish, I will go ahead and do 2 coats of transparent dip. I love to do that to make sure I don't chip my polish, and it gives my nails the strength that I like. So that will be, you know, what I do at the end. I'll do a couple of those, maybe show you guys how I do that, and then I'll fast forward all that to the end so you can see the final product. So, all right, there we go. Those are all done. We're gonna let those dry a little bit. And so I'll tell you what we're gonna do next. As I'm gonna French tip all of these, except for the thumbs. The thumbs I'm going to do different. But I'm going to French tip the other 4 fingers with Bliss, which is B518. I have another purple, but it's not enough of a lavender shade. It's a little bit different, so it's really not what I want. So this is what I decided to go with. Obviously, you can pick any shade. You could do this with, you know, red, or you could do this with orange, or you could do this, whatever. But I am a purple girl. I like purple. So it's one of the reasons why I chose to go ahead and do this with purple. So we're going to get this all kind of set up here and ready to go. It's still just a tad tacky, so I'm going to wait just a minute, and then we'll go ahead and do those. I'm also using my new handy dandy cotton grabber that I got with my Box of Wonder. I love it. It's just so much nicer than using my fingers to get my cotton pad all wet. So anyway, I'm enjoying using that a lot. So, all right, let's try again. Let's see. Because if this is not quite dry enough, I may have a hard time getting this to stick. So I think this came with one of the Mani by Me boxes earlier this year, so it is available on the website. The glitter top coat's available. Of course, Bam White's always available. So there we go. All right. So if you were here with me a couple of weeks ago and saw me struggle with the French tipping, I finally got that figured out, obviously. So that's good. We're going to go ahead with this one right here and start with the pinky and just roll that, and voila. I mean, that is like a perfect pickup, okay? So I'm gonna take my pinky over here, and I am just gonna push this, put that right on there. I'm not gonna push too hard because I don't wanna do what I did last time and get a big old hole in my stamp head. So there we go. So there we've started that. I'm gonna go ahead and use my sticky stampy station right here and clean my head, my stamper head off. It's amazing how that works. I'm gonna put this over here so you can see it a little better. There we go. And since I'm doing this, I'm gonna have to clean these off a little bit more because I'm using the same one over and over and over again. But there we go. You can use this one again. Go. Roll it. Clean off any excess I may have on the sides. Grab my nail here. Line it up. Press. Release. There. Look at that. Clean. So, that's what we got going so far. Excited for y'all to see this. Okay, so the next one's a little bit bigger nail for me, so I'm gonna go over here and use this size. Let's see. Hopefully that will work well. Good pickup. Clean that off. Pick up my nail here. Make sure I get that French. Now that I figured this French out, I'm really enjoying it. I always thought French tips were just so, you know, cool. Obviously this is not standard, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You can do thicker French tips. You can do thin French tips. You can do whatever you want. For this, I'm using the thicker ones because I want the sides that come down a little bit farther. So that's why I'm using this particular one and not one of the others, because I want the sides that come down. There we go. All right. So those are those. Now what I'm going to do with the thumb is I'm going to use this plate here from Maniology. I've used this before. I just really like that, the way it looks. So that's what I'm going to do for the thumb. I am going to do it like that. And I'm going to use Flicker. I'm not quite sure how that's going to look on there, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Flicker on my thumb. And then we're going to come back and finish up the rest of these tips. So let's get this on here. I'm gonna do that again. I don't like the way that came off. I want a little bit more polish on that. So I'm gonna make sure I get that really good. Yeah, better. There we go. Got my Flicker. All right, so let's see how this works. I hope it looks good. And I'm kind of worried because it's not very dark. So I may not put it on here. I may just kind of look at it. Yeah, I'm not loving that. So I don't think we're going to use Flicker. I think it's too light for what I wanted. So I think we'll just do something different. Yeah, it's just not quite dark enough. It's too bluish for what I want. All right, so let's just go ahead and go with straight up black. Yeah, straight up black. So make sure we get all that off. There we go. And we'll do a straight up black, and that'll look better. Okay. There we go. Definitely looks a lot better. It's going to be a lot darker. So I can do this one of two ways. I can do it this way, or I can do it coming off. I think I'm going to do it coming off because I think I just like the way that looks. So, there we go. Now, what we're going to do, if you haven't already guessed, which I'm sure you have, is that we are going to use, we're going to do bats on the tips of these Frenches over here. So this is what we're going to do. Do that. Scrape. Roll. Clean off. There we go. Then we're going to take this little guy right here, and we are going to line this up so that the edge of the bat wings line up with the purple. And voila, there we go. So that is the plan. I'm going to use a lot of cotton because I have to clean these things off every time, just like I did with the others, but that's okay. That's just the way it goes. There we go. And you can do this either way that's easiest for you to do it. For me, it's easier to do it with the tip down because I want to make sure I cover that purple line. Now, because these next nails are a little bit bigger, I'm going to use the next size up. There we go. Tip down, back up. There. I really like that. There we go. Up, tip down. And that one's a little crooked, but that's on me, but that's okay. So now I've done with that. I'm gonna go ahead and do a smudge-free top coat on all of those so I don't smudge those any. And then, like I said, what I'll go back then and do after that is a couple of layers of transparent dip. So start with our nail here, our thumbnail. This is really kind of a fun one because it's just easy. and it doesn't take a lot of work. And you do this, I don't know how long we've been doing this now, but 20 minutes, and I've done, you know, one whole manicure. And if you don't want a top coat with dip, you don't have to. You can just stop at this step if that's what you want to do. So there we go. There is the finished manicure for this week. So like I said, I just want to do something a little bit different. So put this over to the side.